week 10 of the fantasy football season. And here's a few wide receivers I would drop this week. The first guy, Allen Robinson of the Los Angeles Rams. So this week, I know a lot of Rams on my drop lists at positions. But hey, these guys are doing nothing. And this is crunch time already in the fantasy football season. 5 weeks left before the playoffs here. And if guys aren't producing, it's time to give them the boot here in week 10. So the last few games for Robinson, he's been serviceable until week 9. Week 6 versus Carolina, 5 catches, 63 yards and a touch. Week 8 versus San Francisco, 5 catches, 54 yards. And then week 9 at Tampa, 3 catches, 24 yards. So right here, week 10 versus Arizona, it wasn't right here. It's a decent matchup versus the Cardinals. But Robinson, like I mentioned, he's only had 2 solid games and then the rest horrible and 1 mediocre game in there in PPR leagues. So Robinson owned in 67% of fantasy leagues. And right now it's pretty much just Cooper Kupp, this whole offense over there in Los Angeles. Von Jefferson's done nothing in the 2 games since he returned from the injured list. Allen Robinson, he's been up and down as the big free agent signing at wide receiver. And maybe we could see this team go out there and sign Odell Beckham. Supposedly he'll be ready by the end of the week to get on the field and sign with a team. But obviously would have to learn the playbook. But if he goes back to Los Angeles, he won't. So a lot of teams in on him. But anyway, Allen Robinson not getting the job done. And I thought he'd be decent this season coming into the year with the Rams. But that hasn't been the case, and he's been too inconsistent. So I would drop him this week. The next guy, Romeo Doubs of the Green Bay Packers. So Romeo Doubs out 4 to 6 weeks now with a high ankle sprain. And he was a guy starting to show some promise, even though inconsistencies. He's had a couple decent fantasy days this season. But the last few games for Doubs before he went down, week 6 versus the Jets, 4 catches, 21 yards. Week 7 in Washington, 4 targets, got the goose egg. Week 8 at Buffalo, 4 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. And then week 9 to start the game, he got off to a good start, a catch for 18 yards. And then right then and there got hurt and carted off the field. So now we're out 4 to 6 weeks. And they'll probably take it to week 13, week 14 at best he comes back. It wasn't like he was putting up monster numbers to hold them on as a stash or on your IR. And I would drop him this week in the third and final wide receiver I would drop this week. Alec Pierce of the Indianapolis Colts. So Pierce, he had a couple decent weeks from weeks 3 all the way to week 6, but then he's fell off the last few weeks. The quarterback change has been the problem. Going from Matt Ryan to Sam Elger. Frank Reich got fired. Jeff Saturday is the head coach now, but they say they're sticking with Elger. So the last few games here for Pierce, week 7 at Tennessee, 3 catches, 37 yards. Week 8 versus Washington, 3 catches, 65 yards. And then week 9 in New England, a catch for 23 yards. Obviously, that's not getting the job done. Really no fantasy value in that. And owners, they've been starting to drop off Alec Pierce anyway. But right now, after 3 bad performances, and Sam Elger staying as the quarterback, he's an easy drop this week. So that's a few wide receivers I would drop here for week 10 of the fantasy football season.